What's happening, sports fans? How you doing? I am Kendrick the Sports Guy. Good day to you. And ESPN and Stephen A. Smith have agreed to continue the relationship for the next 5 years. We're going to talk about that in this segment. Make sure you smash that like button, smash that follow button, and subscribe to the channels if you have not already done so. Front Office Sports was the first media outlet to report, but Stephen A. Smith and ESPN have agreed to a 5-year contract extension worth over $100 million. Means Stephen A. will now be making $20 million a year and is the highest paid ESPN on-air personality. He jumps over Troy Aikman and Joe Buck. Aikman makes $18 million a year, Joe Buck makes $15 million, and Pat McAfee makes $18 million. Now, Smith's deal also includes for the First Take executive producer to he be able to do outside projects outside of the network. But his primary focus will still be an executive producer of First Take, but he will also be able to play a bigger role in ESPN's NFL coverage, which means he will be making some appearances on Monday Night Countdown. Now, some of those outside endeavors he already has his own production company. He also has his YouTube channel, Stephen A. Smith, which has over 1 million subscribers. So again, Smith has now become the highest paid on-air personality for sports-wise at ESPN. Now, speaking of which, on Thursday night, after the excitement of the new deal, there was some excitement at Madison Square Garden concerning Stephen A. Smith and Lakers star LeBron James. There was a confrontation. We couldn't read what LeBron was saying, but there was a confrontation and the Lakers got the big time win in overtime. Well, Stephen A. will go on First Take this morning and address exactly what the confrontation was about. Take a listen.
That was LeBron James coming up to me, unexpectedly, I might add, to confront me about making sure that I mind what I say about his son. Can't repeat the words because they ain't suited for FCC airwaves. That's what he was doing. That wasn't a basketball player confronting me. That was a parent. That was a father. And I can't sit here and be angry or feel slighted by LeBron James in any way in that regard. By all accounts, he's obviously a wonderful family man and a wonderful father who cares very, very deeply about his son. And based on some of the comments that he had heard, or shall I say, I think he thought he heard, he clearly took exception to some of the things that he heard me say, and he confronted me about it. For the record, his agent and friend, Rich Paul, has my number. Maverick Carter, who works under him, has my number. LeBron James knows how to get in contact with me if he wanted to. He never called, because had he called and wanted to talk to me, I would have accepted that call. Had he wanted to see me, I would have flown out and I would have seen him and I would have had a conversation man to man. But that is not what he elected to do. Instead, he elected to confront me while I was sitting courtside.
Again, that was Stephen A. Smith addressing the confrontation that he had with LeBron last night at Madison Square Garden. Now, we don't know what Stephen A.'s response was back. He did not mention that. But again, my thoughts on that. Well, first of all, let me say congratulations to Stephen A. Smith for getting this contract extension. I think know your worth. And I think you should be paid your worth. And I think, people say nobody's worth that type of money. But nobody says what these companies and these VPs and all this money and the bonuses they get. So I salute anybody in the industry, sports media personalities. If you can get your bag, get your bag. I'm not mad at him at all for that. So congratulations to Stephen A. Now, with that comes, when you're the loudest voice in the world, in the sports world, you're gonna probably set yourself up for confrontations. Again, I'm not here to say who was right or who was wrong in that. Was LeBron wrong for? I ain't gonna say he was. I think he's doing what any father would do. But I think there's a different way you can handle it. You don't necessarily have to do it all out in public. But On the flip side, if that person that you feel like is coming at you wrong and they doing it publicly, I guess it's okay for you to confront them publicly. That's what it is. Again, we're in this social media world now. Reporting sports is so different than it was 30 years ago. Just because of social media, you got all these debate shows that want to come on and they want to have these hot takes, and they be talking a little reckless sometimes about these athletes. And then on the flip side, sometimes these athletes get a little too sensitive, and instead of thinking like, wait a minute, why am I worried about that? Let me focus on my game. I'm not worried about what Stephen A or Nick Wright or whatever else is having to say. So again, it's one of those things where it's entertainment. What happened to the sports analysis? What about the X's and O's and talking about that? We don't have that anymore on the national level. Obviously, you can find some good guys, some YouTube content creators, I think, that can break down and analyze games. But let's be honest, most people don't find that entertaining anyway. They rather see this kind of stuff. And you know what, I'm gonna leave it there. But again, I just want to say congrats to Stephen A getting the bag and 5 more years at ESPN. So we'll see what's next. Like to know what you guys think about ESPN signing Stephen A. 5-year contract extension, $100 million. Talk to me in the comments. I'm Kendrick, the sports guy. We will see you on the other side and on the next report. I am out. Peace.